Good morning students, welcome to class 12 chemistry. So we are continuing electrochemistry topic. In this session we will discuss about conductance behavior of strong electrolytes. That means variation of conductivity, that is lambda m, that is molar conductivity. What we call this one? Molar conductivity. Variation of molar conductivity with concentration for strong and weak electrolytes. How they vary? Lambda m value vary with concentration of strong and weak electrolytes. So first of all, we will discuss conductance behavior of strong electrolytes. Conductance behavior of strong electrolytes. So in this aspect, the molar conductivity of a strong electrolyte vary with concentration according to the given equation. How this lambda m value vary with concentration? So molar conductivity of strong electrolyte is found to vary with concentration according to the following equation. So lambda m is equal to lambda m naught minus A into constant root C. So this is the equation. This is the important equation. This equation, we can call this equation as Debye-Huckel-Onsager equation. Scientist names Debye-Huckel-Onsager equation. So lambda m, here in this expression, in this formula, lambda m represents molar conductivity at a given concentration. So you already know molar conductivity of an electrolyte at a given concentration Next, lambda m naught represents, this is called limiting molar conductivity. Or you can call molar conductivity of an electrolyte at infinite dilution. Molar conductivity of an electrolyte at infinite dilution, or you can call zero concentration. Infinite dilution or zero concentration. So where C represents concentration, where capital C represents concentration of the electrolyte. This represents concentration of electrolyte. Okay students, this is called Debye-Huckel-Onsager equation. And here, what about the capital A in this expression? What is this capital A represents? Capital A is a constant. Which depends on the type of electrolyte. Nature of the solvent, and temperature. And this A value also depends on charges on the cation and anion. That is important. Produced during dissociation of electrolyte, produced during dissociation of electrolyte. So this is very important. And one more equation is there. See here in that equation, what is that equation? Lambda m is equal to lambda m naught minus a root c. See here, when concentration tends to 0, that is V tends to infinity, infinite dilution. Under these two cases, lambda m becomes equal to lambda m naught. Lambda m becomes equal to lambda m naught under these two conditions. 0 concentration, infinite dilution. Next, this is also important point, students. Next, one more equation. This is also comes under Debye-Onsager equation. So, but in terms of equivalent conductance, lambda E is equal to lambda E naught minus, so 82.4 by eta into dt whole power 1 by 2 plus 8.2 into 10 power 5 by dt whole power 3 by 2 into lambda E naught of concentration of goods. So you can write this equation as lambda E is equal to lambda E naught minus some constant A into root C. Right? Did you understand? That constant A is nothing but that much big expression. In that expression, so you already know what is lambda E, equivalent conductivity at a given concentration. Equivalent conductivity of an electrolyte at a given concentration. Next, lambda E naught means you already know limiting equivalent conductivity. Limiting equivalent conductance or equivalent conductivity. Limiting equivalent conductivity or equivalent conductivity, or you can write equivalent conductivity at infinite dilution or zero concentration. So here also that some terms are there in that expression. C represents concentration. And capital D in that expression represents dielectric constant. Capital D represents dielectric constant of water, and eta, this is represented by eta, that represents viscosity, and T represents absolute temperature. So this is also called Debye-Onsager equation in terms of equivalent conductivities. So this equation, these two equations holds good at low concentrations. So these equations holds good at low concentrations. At low concentrations, they hold good. If a plot is drawn between, suppose if you plot a graph here between lambda m versus root c. If you plot a graph between lambda m versus root c, you are going to get these type of curves on the graph like this. These type of curves you will get. Straight line path like this. So this, if you observe this curve, this is the curve related to potassium chloride. This is the curve related to HCl. So this dot indicates, this point indicates, this point indicates lambda m naught of HCl. That is molar conductance of HCl at 0 concentration. Okay, and this part indicates lambda m naught of KCl. That is molar conductance of KCl at 0 concentration. Concentration is 0. So this is the curve. So this equation holds good at low concentration. If a plot is drawn between lambda m versus root c, a linear graph is obtained for low concentrations with negative slope a, but it is not linear at high concentrations. That is a key point. A linear graph is obtained for low concentrations with negative slope capital A, but it is not linear at high concentrations. So that points, what points you can draw from these graphs? Linear graph is obtained at low concentrations. So you can see here low concentrations with negative slope, but it is not linear at high concentrations. Okay students, next what point you can draw here? The curve obtained for a strong electrolyte shows that there is a small increase in conduction with dilution. See, in case suppose if it is a, here HCl is a strong electrolyte, so the curve obtained for a strong electrolyte shows that there is an small increase in conduction with dilution. There is a small increase in conduction with dilution. Dilution increases means concentration is decreasing. Small increase in conduction with dilution. So these points are important students, because C is equal to N by V. C is equal to N by V. For 1 mole means C inversely proportional to V. The curve obtained for a strong electrolyte shows that there is a small increase in conduction with dilution. Next point what we can draw. See, actually why this happens? This is because a strong electrolyte is completely dissociated, right? A strong electrolyte is completely dissociated in solution. Completely dissociated. You already know strong electrolytes undergo complete dissociation in solution. So if it so from this you can say number of ions remains constant. Number of ions after complete dissociation, number of ions remains constant. Number of ions remains constant. Next, at higher concentrations, what you are going to observe from the graph? The greater interionic attractions, generally high concentrations, the greater interionic attractions retard the motion of ions and conductance falls with increasing concentration. Very, very important point. At high concentrations, the greater interionic forces between the ions, interionic attractions. The greater interionic attractions, what they do? They retard the motion of the ions. So they won't allow, they will slow down. They retard the motion of the ions. And if the movement of ions decreases, if the mobility of ions decreases, what happens, students? And conductance falls. And conductance falls with increasing concentrations. With increasing concentrations. You can see the graph there. conductance of HCl and KCl, both are strong electrolytes. You can see their conductance will fall with the increase in concentrations. So from this Onsager equation, Debye-Huckel-Onsager equation, this equation holds good only at low concentrations. If you draw a plot between lambda m versus root c, a linear graph is obtained for low concentrations with negative slope, but it is not linear at high concentrations. The curve obtained for a strong electrolyte shows that there is a small increase in conduction with dilution. If you increasing the dilution means you are decreasing the concentration. So this is because generally strong electrolytes completely dissociate, and then after complete dissociation number of ions present in the solution remains constant. So what happens at high concentrations, the greater inter-ionic forces will come into the picture and they retard the motion of ions. So if they decrease the mobility of ions, and hence conductance falls with increasing concentration. So as the concentration increases, inter-ionic force of attraction between the ions increases, and this strong inter-ionic forces will decrease the mobility of ions. If the mobility of ions decreases, automatically what happens, students? Conduction decreases. Next, with decrease in concentration, if you observe, with the decrease in concentration means what? Increasing dilution. Decreasing concentration means increasing dilution. So from this, what you can write? Ions. See, if the concentration is decreased, what happens? Inter-ionic forces decreases. Force of attraction decreases among the ions. Inter-ionic force of attraction decreases. So if the inter-ionic force of attraction decreases, what happens? Conductance increases with dilution. Conductance increases with dilution and approaches a maximum value limiting value at infinite dilution. So that maximum limiting point we call it as lambda m naught. So 2 points, students. At high concentrations, inter-ionic force of attractions are more. These forces will decrease the motion of ions in the solution, and automatically if the movement of ions decreases, conductance falls with increasing concentration. Now suppose reverse you do. If you decrease the concentration by diluting, inter-ionic force of attraction decreases. If the inter-ionic force of attraction decreases, conductance increases with the dilution and approaches a maximum limiting value at infinite dilution. So this is the conductance behavior of strong electrolytes. They behave like this. So you can see the graph. If you plot the graph between lambda m versus root c, so you can see 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. So this is a case of strong electrolytes. Here KCl, I have taken here KCl. You observe the KCl. This is a case of strong electrolyte. But acetic acid, it's a weak electrolyte. Its behavior is different. So let's have it now. I will explain it. Now let us discuss. This is about the conductance behavior of strong electrolytes. Now, conductance behavior of weak electrolytes. How can you explain this behavior? See, already you know weak electrolytes dissociate to a smaller extent than strong electrolytes. So they have poor ionization. Weak electrolytes dissociates to a smaller extent. Okay, they undergo partial ionization. they undergo partial ionization. Okay, students. Next, at same concentration, the conductance of weak electrolyte is lower than strong electrolyte. So if you take same concentration, at the same concentration, you have to take two electrolytes at the same concentration. What are the two electrolytes? Weak and strong electrolytes. If you take at the same concentration, the conductance of a weak electrolyte, is always less than conductance of strong electrolyte. This is the important point. Same concentration, two electrolytes you take, conductance of weak electrolyte is always less than conductance of strong electrolyte. Now if you plot the graph between lambda m versus square root of C for weak electrolytes, the graph, it was found to be like this. It didn't touch the y-axis. Observe this point, students. It will not touch the y-axis. So this is a graph which we observe for acetic acid. It is a weak electrolyte. So the curve obtained for a weak electrolyte shows that a very large increase in molar conductance with increase in dilution. If you increase the dilution, increase in dilution means decrease in concentration. So the curve obtained for a weak electrolyte shows that a very large increase in molar conductance with increase in dilution, especially near infinite dilution. This point is very important. A large increase in molar conductance is observed with increase in dilution. If you decrease the concentration, so here increase in dilution. With increase in dilution, lambda m value increases. Increase in dilution means decreasing concentration. Especially near infinite dilution. Infinite dilution means zero concentration. The molar conductance of electrolytes, whether strong or weak, increases with dilution and reaches to a maximum limiting value, and that limiting value we call it as lambda m naught, or you can call lambda m infinity. So these two symbols are same. What does lambda m naught indicates? Molar conductance at zero concentration, or molar conductance at infinite dilution. Both are same. Lambda m naught or lambda m infinity, both are same. Lambda m naught represents molar conductance of the electrolyte at zero concentration. Lambda m infinity represents molar conductance of the electrolyte at infinite dilution. See, from both the graphs, if you observe both the graphs, this is for strong electrolyte and this is for weak electrolyte. So if you observe both the graphs for strong and weak electrolyte, 2 points we can grasp. Lambda m naught value in case of strong electrolytes, can be obtained by extrapolation of the graph of molar conductivity to zero concentration. See here, from graph you can easily get it. See why you can easily get it? Because this line, see, this line is touching this y-axis. So from this, not only for lambda m naught of KCl, you can calculate the lambda m naught. Suppose if you take other electrolyte, it may be here. Suppose if you take other electrolyte, it may be here. Suppose for other electrolyte, it may be here. But compulsory, the point lies on y-axis. So lambda m naught value in case of strong electrolytes can be obtained by extrapolation of the graph of molar conductivity at zero concentration. But if you observe the graph for weak alkaline acetic acid, the curve is not touching the y-axis. This spot you can see. This curve is not touching the y-axis. So from this, what we can say, we can draw one more point. In case of weak electrolytes, lambda m naught values can't be obtained through graph. Can't be obtained from graph. Can't be obtained from graph. So then how can we calculate? We can't obtain from graph. So lambda m naught values of weak alkalides can be calculated by using a special law called Kohlrausch law. A special law called Kohlrausch law. So let's have some graphs. So next topic we are going to discuss the Kohlrausch law. So before that, so we can calculate here, there is one mathematical relation, that is degree of dissociation. You already know degree of dissociation is denoted by alpha, that is equal to, that can be calculated by using the formula lambda mc by lambda m naught, or lambda mc by lambda m infinity. Both are same. See, degree of dissociation of any alkaloid can be calculated by using the formula alpha is equal to lambda mc. What is this lambda mc here? Molar conductance at the given concentration. Where lambda m naught means molar conductance at zero concentration, or lambda n infinity means molar conductance at infinite dilution. So this is very important formula, students. Even for equivalent conductance also you can, while doing numericals we will use the formula. Again, degree of dissociation alpha is equal to, in terms of equivalent conductance, lambda ec by lambda e naught, or lambda ec by lambda e infinity. So we explain these terms now. What is lambda ec? Equivalent conductance of an electrolyte. At a given concentration. And what is this lambda E naught? Equivalent conductance of an electrolyte at zero concentration. And what is this lambda E infinity? Equivalent conductance of an electrolyte at infinite dilution. That is denoted by lambda E infinity. So this is important, students, very important. Next, so for both the electrolytes can be represented from the same graph. So this is the graph, behavior, variation of molar conductance with respect to concentration in case of weak electrolyte, in case of strong electrolytes. Two graphs here itself we can draw. For weak electrolyte and strong electrolytes you can show in one graph. Now, so one more graph just for reference. If you plot the graph between lambda E versus same, you will get normality. I am taking here normality. So it was found to be like this. For this is for KCl. This is for BaCl2. This is for nickel sulfate. And for acetic acid, you won't, here in all the three cases, here you may get what is this value, lambda E naught values. This is lambda E naught value for KCl, lambda E naught value for Na, like this. But for acetic acid, you won't get this type of curve. Like this you will get the curve. So this is for weak electrolyte. So weak electrolyte, if you observe, the curve will not touch y-axis. This is the case of weak acids. But in case of strong electrolytes, any strong electrolyte you take, that will touch the y-axis. From that you can easily calculate lambda E naught value. So did you understand, students? Now let's have some numericals. So some values also I will show for you. So this is formula. Still now what we have to, make a quick note of formulas, just revision. R is equal to rho L by A. So all formulas in one book, one page you have to enter. Cell constant, that is G star, it is denoted by. So specific conductivity, all formulas you enter in one page for calculation of numericals. How to solve some numericals basing on this. Cell constant is equal to specific conductance by conductance. All the formulas you know down. Very, very important formulas. So make a quick note. Already you have all the formulas from your notes. Frame some formulas list till now what we have discussed. And you can see conductances of KCl solutions, specific conductance, concentration of KCl solution, and their conductivity values. Same KCl solution at different concentrations. So as the concentration increases, what happens to this conductivity? Increases. Is it okay? From this tabular form you see, at 1 molar it is 0.1113. That is 11.3 you can take for 1 molar. For 0.1 molar, concentration is decreased. So if the concentration is decreased, specific conductance also decreased there. So concentration, it varies with conductivity. As the concentration decreases, what did you observe? Specific conductance of that solution also decreased. In case of strong electrolyte. So these are the no need. No. See the numericals. Start doing the numericals, students. Do the numericals. Quick. The electrical resistance of a column. Do it. Electrical resistance of a column. Concentration is given. Diameter 1 centimeter and length 50 centimeter is given. Calculate its resistivity, conductivity and molar conductivity. First one, calculation of resistivity. Calculation of resistivity. So here how you will calculate? So here resistance is given how much? 5.55 into 10 cube ohm. Area of cross section you calculate, students. Area of cross section, that is A, is equal to pi r square. Pi means 3.14. R value how much, students? Radius. Here diameter is given. Diameter is 1 centimeter means radius means 1 by 2. So here 1 by 2 whole square. So solve this one, students. You will get 0.785 centimeter square. That is area of cross section. So after calculating that, next length of the column. length of the column L is equal to 50 centimeters given. From this, what is the formula, students? Resistance R is equal to rho L by A, right? From this, resistivity, he is asking resistivity, that is rho value he is asking, RA by L, and you substitute, students, rho is equal to R value how much? 5.55 into 10 cube into 0.785 by L value how much, students? L value 50 centimeters. Substitute, and finally we will get the answer, rho value. We will get answer in ohm centimeter, calculate it. So next, after that, so if you calculate, you will get 87.135 ohm centimeter. This is resistivity value. What is this? Resistivity, direct formulas only. Next, second step, that is calculation of conductivity. Calculation of conductivity. So how to calculate this conductivity? You know the relation, students. Conductivity is denoted by kappa. Conductivity is denoted by kappa is equal to 1 by resistivity. So 1 by 87.135. So you will get 0.01148 Simon centimeter inverse. Next, third step, you have to calculate calculation of molar conductivity, lambda m value. So what is the formula, students? Lambda m, very important formula. Lambda m is equal to molar conductance. Lambda m is equal to specific conductance kappa into 1000 by here molarity. So how much kappa value given? 0.01148 into 1000 by molarity. How much it is given? 0.05. Solve this one. You will get answer in Simon centimeter square mole inverse. Solve that one, students. Important model. Next, this one use. Same formulas for practice. If specific conductivity of n by 50 kCl solution at 298 Kelvin is given, resistance of the cell containing this solution is 100 ohms, cell constant, did you remember, students? Cell constant is equal to, what is the formula? Cell constant is equal to specific conductivity by observed conductivity. So here cell constant, you can write it as cell constant is equal to specific conductivity into observed conductivity, you can write it as observed resistance. Resistance inversely related, na? In place of observed conductance, you can write 1 by observed conductance can be written as observed resistance. So specific conductance, it is given as 0.002765 ohm inverse centimeter inverse. Observed resistance, it is given as 100 ohm. So do this one, you will get answer in centimeter inverse. Next, 0.5 normal solution of a salt placed between two electrodes 2 centimeter apart, and area of cross section is given, and as the resistance is given, equivalent conductivity, that is, so how to calculate the equivalent conductance? First you calculate specific conductance, students. Specific conductance K kappa is equal to observed conductance into cell constant. So how I got this formula means you go through the formula and do it. This is cell constant. Okay. Now how to calculate first cell constant here? Cell constant means L by A. L by A value. L by A 2 centimeter, 4 centimeter square. So how much we will get? 1 by 2 centimeter inverse. That is cell constant. And conductance, observed conductance. Observed conductance is equal to reciprocal of resistance is equal to 1 by 25. That is ohm inverse. So substitute these two values here. Specific conductance kappa is equal to observed how much? 1 by 25 into cell constant 1 by 2. So that is equal to finally we will get 0.02 ohm inverse centimeter inverse. That is specific conductance K value. Then what he is asking? Equivalent conductance. Calculation of equivalent conductance. Lambda E. So you know lambda E is equal to kappa into 1000 by normality of the solution. Lambda E is equal to what is the kappa value? 0.02. Substitute directly. 0.02 into 1000 by normality of the solution how much? 0.5 gram equivalent liter inverse. So if you solve this you will get Simon centimeter square equivalent inverse units. Solve this one. Come on quick. Here what are the question? What are the values of lambda m and lambda E, and in brackets the atomic weight of barium is given as 137, chlorine it is given as 35.5. So the conductivity of a solution containing 1 gram of anhydrous barium chloride in 200 centimeter cube of water has been found to be 0.008 Simon centimeter inverse. What are lambda m and lambda E? So very easy question, students. Kappa value is given. How much? Specific conductance 0.0058 Simon centimeter inverse. Specific conductance kappa. Specific conductance is given, students. Next, calculate molar mass of BaCl2. If you calculate 137 plus 2 into 35.5, how much you will get? 208 gram per mole. So next, after that, as 1 gram of barium chloride is present in 200 ml of solution, concentration, mass by gram molecular mass into 1000 by VML. So we have to calculate molarity first. Molarity is equal to number of moles of barium chloride by into 1000 by volume in ml. So number of moles means mass by gram molecular mass 1 given. Gram molecular mass how much, students? 208. Mass by gram molecular mass into 1000 by volume in ml. Volume in ml how much given? 200 ml given. So you solve this one, you will get molarity of this solution. So how much you will get, students? If you solve 0.0240 mole per liter. So solve it, very easy method. Then after that, calculation of molarity, direct formulas you can calculate. So first you calculate lambda m. Lambda m is equal to K into 1000 by capital M. So K value how much? 0.0058 into 1000 by capital M 0.040. So directly you will get the answer. Lambda m value in Simon centimeter square mole inverse. Calculate this one. Okay, and after that, next, you know molarity. So molarity of BaCl2, how much? 0.0240. Then what about normality? Normality is equal to molarity into n factor. Do you know this relation? Here n factor is 2. So molarity 0.0240 into n factor for this one is 2. We'll get 0.0480, right? That is normality. Then directly you can do lambda E, equivalent conductance. Lambda E is equal to kappa into 1000 by normality. So kappa value 0.0058 into 1000 by, what is the normality of barium chloride? 0.0480. So we'll get the answer, right? Very easy, students. How much you will get here? You will get answer in Simon centimeter square equivalent inverse. Like that, same models you can practice. These questions you have to practice. Take screenshot and practice it. How to practice that one? Take a screenshot of this page and practice these models. Take the screenshot. How to do this? All models easily you can do. So those formulas you have to practice. Same one or two formulas only, you have to adjust those formulas. Okay students, thank you.